Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids across our beloved empire, it's great to be in the empire today. It's great seeing each and every one of you guys here on Arnold Holonet News, the only news you'll ever need, because you have no other choice. And on today's HoloPad, you probably are seeing we got an update coming in and a new unit related to Rendar. We are getting a new rebel ship called the Outrider that's gonna be piloted by Rendar, and it's we're having a bit of a weird time, kind of like how Beskar Mando, his ship is categorized as a bounty hunter, although his character is not a bounty hunter. Rendar, fantastic character, by the way. We know this is one of the better characters that Galaxy has released in the past couple months here, and of course needed for Star Killer, but no rebel tag. However, his ship, I mean, it makes sense based off the story a little bit, but he's got the rebel tag. It would have been, man, imagine Rendar with the rebel tag. Woo, man, that would make him a lot more lucrative, and he's already pretty darn good here. It's gonna be support, cargo ship, rebel, scoundrel, and smuggler. Loads of tags on this guy. But as we're gonna see, it's primarily the rebel synergy that's gonna be supercharging this fellow right here. How is it gonna be available? It's gonna be a galactic chase starting on April 8th, which is gonna be 3 days from now. So we're gonna be doing some testing. It's a 4-star unlock as well, which is a little rough. I hate galactic chase events. Whaler fail on the wall. Who's the sponsor for them all? Raid Shadow Legends. So we're gonna talk about the top best Raid Shadow Legends characters that you should be keeping your eyes peeled for. Cargel. Holy cow, this guy is bonkers. And he's got a mass cleanse capability that also prevents further debuffs and allows dead allies to revive again. And that is just one out of over 600 champions in Raid. There's loads of content, such as this month being Raid's 3rd year anniversary. And to celebrate, they're introducing Raid's first ever champion skins. And if you want to get in on the fun, if you use my links down below or scan my QR code. If you're a new player, you'll get not 1, not 2, but 3 free champions at once, and a ton of other resources, which makes this pack's value nearly $40. All this treasure will be waiting for you right up here, but you gotta be quick because these rewards are only available for the next 30 days. You're making it hard to get these new ships. 4 stars, and if you push hard, you should get 4 stars. On my free-to-play account, we got the Thai enchilada at 4 stars, but it took a lot of crystals to get there, and it was kind of necessary for my first order fleet to get a lot better. So we're getting more ships. We speculated an A-Wing could be coming, could still be very well possible. A-Wing might be coming. We saw the in-game leak on that. But we do see why we're getting a Akbar login word and that Wedge free pack as well for this month. Rebels are getting an addition to their fleet, and honestly, I didn't think they needed it, but you know what? It's a nice addition to them. I'm not gonna lie. Can this ship enable the hold one lead fleet to one-shot Executor? No, but it should help to hold its own against many other fleets it couldn't previously. Well, we'll be the judge of that. I don't think their intention was the Thai enchilada to be the most consistent one-shot counter to the Executor. Well, well, it happened. We broke the game. We made it work. The Kyber Club revolutionized fleets as a result. It seems like that wasn't their intention. They might nerf it, but anyways, let's start reading off the kit here. We have illegal laser cannons, deal physical damage 3 times a target enemy and inflict critical damage down for 3 turns. You're gonna get a lot of repetitive attacks out of this guy. A lot of multi-hits going on there. So especially in a rebel lineup, if you're able to call in this guy to assist because of the Millennium Falcon, using the basic ability, getting 3 extra hits on this and inflicting critical damage down is not going to be bad. So yes, basic abilities, normally we look over it, but because of this guy right here, we might be getting a lot of assists from the Outrider as well. Moving on, we got our first special ability with a cooldown of a 4. Deal physical damage 5 times. Also, it's kind of a copy and paste animation from the Houndstooth. Getting a little lazy on the animation, CJ. You think these are sunglasses? No, these are version 3.0 Imperial Tactical Scanners. I know, and we're cutting corners. This is basically a copy and paste from Houndstooth, but nonetheless, the kit is different though. Deal physical damage 5 times a target enemy, and very nice, dispel all buffs on them and inflict target lock for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. So we should be able to get through that tenacity problem. Each instant of damage reduces the target's defense by 5%. So 25% damage reduction potentially from this right here for the rest of the encounter, which Again, they're saying it shouldn't one-shot the Executor, but you know what? In the hands of Triple B King, we might make something happen, but getting the defense reduction a lot would be nice, and it can't be resisted. And here's the other thing on top of that. Rebel allies are going to get 5% turn meter for each critical hit, so that is the potential of 25% turn meter. Woo! And Rebels already get a lot of juicy critical hits on the team, so this is going to look, again, nice for a fleet that I didn't really think need. I'm kind of wondering what the intention of what they're shooting for. I mean, Rebels could already beat Malevolence, beat Negotiator. They could one-shot some Executor Labs. CG, I don't know if you play your game, but Rebels can beat some of the non-ideal starting lives. If you do like Houndstooth, Razor, or I'm sorry, if you do like IG-88, Xander Blood, Razor Crest, you can one-shot that. Or you do Houndstooth, Razor Crest, IG-88 instead of Xander Blood, you can one-shot that. So although they're saying that that's not what they want to do, we've already kind of have Rebel Labs that could one-shot some of them. So you're kind of getting dangerously close to make it possible. I don't know. We'll have to test and see. Nonetheless, Rebels already really saw. I don't quite know what they did improvement in. I think if anything, the Resistance fleet needs help, or filling out the rest of the maybe the Mace Windu fleet, or the Tarkin, whatever the leftover Imperial Capital ship fleet might be. I don't think the Rebels need it. They already got a pretty solid lineup here. Anyways, special number 2. Emergency repairs, cooldown of 3. This is, again, really nice. All Rebel allies recover 20% health and protection and gain speed up and tenacity up on top of that for 1 turn. Then all Rebel allies download progress is increased by 20%. Now, this download thing is actually kind of interesting. We'll get there in a little bit more here. Here's a little introduction right here. Download progress starts at 0% and it's increased to 1% whenever a Rebel ally scores a critical hit, which is all the time. And then it's tripled if it's their turn. And imagine you're getting all these attacks out of turn. Akbar calls in a mass swarm assist. You have, for example, Hera calling in swarms, Han Solo getting people to assist on the basic bigs, calling in assists. There are a lot of assistant capabilities. Cassian, for example, there are going to be loads of ways to juice this up. And it requires 100% download progress to activate. And here's what we'll start seeing. They're kind of really dialing into what they kind of did like with Starkiller, where you got to play this little mini game. It's kind of like a mini contract. You got to play this little mini game and then something cool happens. And let's read that. Unique ability, critical intel. Outrider gains 60% critical chance, and they already get a lot of advantage. And the granted ability, data transmission until it is defeated. Data transmission limited to only 1 use per battle. You dispel all debuffs on all Rebel allies. They recover 50% health and protection on top of this right here. They already have health protection regen right there. Then grant all Rebel allies the Superosa supercomputer for the rest of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. And what does that do? Well, you now have 100% critical chance. So pretty much like a baked-in advantage for the most part. And an additional bonus based on the ship's roll. If you're an attacker, at the start of turn, you're going to dispel, stealth, and taunt from all enemies and inflict defense. I don't know about you, Capital. I don't know if you guys play your games sometimes. It's okay. You know, you only make the game, right? You don't need to play it. At the end of the day, it make a lot of sense with the stuff going on lately. But anti-stealth, anti-taunt, well, Xanadu Blood goes on their stuff. There's not a lot of stealth-based fleets out there. You want to counter Scimitar? Is that what you're eyeing here? I don't think that's really what we needed here. Anti-stealth, anti-taunt sounds like it's a way to work around Houndstooth and Xanadu Blood. This is why when I read this, like, I don't know. It sounds like you're adding some really helpful things for the Rebel fleet. Anyways, if there's a tank, all Rebel allies recover 10% health and protection whenever the ship receives damage. So that's gonna be nice when Biggs or the Rebel Y-Wings getting hit. Well, here you go. You're gonna find ways to keep the rest of your team topped up. And if you're a support, at the start of the turn, inflict target lock for 2 turns and remove 20% turn meter from a random enemy. These are some really solid bonuses in the perspective of fleets. These are some really solid bonuses. The ship meta is a little bit more behind the character metas. They're kind of 2 separate games for the most part. But in terms of the ship meta, these are some really nice things to keep in mind. Attackers, well, Han Solo's an attacker, so if Han can dispel a taunt and then get rid of stealth, so that means they're working on, for example, Xanadu Blood to get him out. That sounds really darn good. And we got a reinforced ability. Undocumented modifications. All Rebel allies gain 20% download progress for each Rebel reinforcement called in by the allied Rebel capital ship during this encounter. Outrider gains gains critical damage up for 1 turn. We're gonna need to see. I don't know. it sounds like we should be able to charge up this download progress pretty fast because Rebels are already naturally a pretty highly based critical damage team. They get a lot of critical hits out there for the most part. Maybe that reinforcement 20% download might make a pretty significant difference for this particular fleet to get to that download a little bit faster. But man, I can't. I know we were speculating there's going to be some sort of Rebel ship this month. We're definitely seeing it now. It's making sense. And if we're really still on the high that maybe we just got a little sneak peek at the A-Wing in game during our little fun speculation zone video. I'm glad you guys like that. Was a lot of fun to make, even though we were kind of playing around and having a good time. Imagine if they get yet another Rebel fleet. Whew. Rebel ships are already top in the game. I don't quite know if I could say they needed the help. Again, right now, we feasibly, if you have all the tools and toys in your toy box, which that's not a reality for everyone, we realistically only have like 7 fleets. You have Malevolence, Negotiator, and keep in mind, that's not even a full fleet. Malevolence is, you're probably not gonna be able to fill it up all the way. You got the Negotiator, which, you know, you don't need to fill it up all the way all the time. And then you got the Finalizer, which again, you don't need to fill it up all the way. We can't really fill the Finalizer with a bunch of First Order. Home One, the Home One's been probably, the Home One and Negotiator, and I guess the Imperial fleets, have been the most complete fleets in the game, being able to fill up all their reinforcements for the most part. Radis a bit left. Obviously, we know everything about the Executor, but really that leaves you with leftover Executrix because the Chimera's the superior use for the TIE Interceptor for the most part. So you pretty much have an Executrix and Endurance. So if anything, if they wanted to build on top of the fleets we have in game, I think they should be making momentum to filling out these other fleets so we don't have to worry about 7 fleets. Because right now the problem is with 3 ships on defense and 3 on offense, you only can drop 1 ship battle. If you drop more than 1, you're done. You're not getting through ships. But if we had more capital ships that are usable, that would be a little bit different of a story. Anyways, fantastic unit. It just seems a little out of place. I don't think this is what people were asking for in response to the whole extra fleets being needed on defense for Kyber. But you guys know I love chatting with you guys. I'm going to pass the ball over to you guys. Thank you guys so much for stopping by the Biggs and Deadly Star Destroyer. Hopefully you've enjoyed your segment of AHN, and more importantly, until we meet again when we'll test out this unit later on this week on April 8th, I want you guys to just say it with me. How it's great to be in the Empire today.